Welcome back everyone and Happy New Year. Hope you all had a great start to 2019. I'm Robbie.
And I'm Liam.
And we're here reviewing a movie from last year that we haven't got around to yet. It is DC's latest big effort. Could be the one to change Liam's perception of the DC universe. Find out. This is Aquaman.
My father was a lighthouse keeper. My mother was a queen. But life has a way of bringing people together.
We could unite our worlds one day.
Check it out. Arthur is talking to the fish.
They made me what I am. Permission to come aboard.
Aquaman was directed by James Wan and it stars Jason Momoa, Amber Heard, Patrick Wilson, Nicole Kidman, Willem Dafoe, and Dolph Lundgren.
And it's the story of Arthur Curry, a man who doesn't belong to the sea, nor the ocean, nor the land. And he was born from a forbidden romance, and then all of a sudden, in modern day, he's called to action to possibly become the new king. And he has to fight his half-brother, and basically protect the ocean and the land. What did you think of Aquaman, Robbie?
I want to know what you thought of Aquaman first, because you have not liked the DC movies up to this point.
No, I haven't. They've had a horrible track record, in my opinion. The DCEU just hasn't worked. And whilst this definitely isn't their worst film, it's like comparing cat shit to dog shit.
Wow.
It's still shit. Yeah, Aquaman just didn't do it for me again. Tonally, these films are all over the place. At least they've stuck with a tone now, but I can't help but feel like they're just doing that because of the Marvel audience. You know, Marvel has this very upbeat, enjoyable tone to each of their films, and they have their darker moments, but DCEU started out trying to be a darker universe, you know what I mean? But now it's just off the walls action, and I just don't care anymore. It just seems like they didn't have a plan. And Aquaman, whilst it's not the worst film I've ever seen, it's just proof of their lack of ideas, I guess.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't know how to follow that.
Well, that was our review of Aquaman 2018. Let us know what you thought.
Yeah. I really like this movie. I don't disagree with you that they've had a bad track record.
Mm-hmm.
Man of Steel, well, I don't dislike it as much as you. I think it was a disappointment, but I still didn't dislike it. Batman vs Superman I liked less. Suicide Squad was terrible. And then Wonder Woman I thought was excellent. Justice League then went backwards again a bit. While I still thought it was fun, it was extremely messy. So they have had a very rocky road up to this point. I had a lot of hope in Aquaman because I love James Wan. He's one of my favorite directors.
He's a very talented guy.
And he said it was going to be, like he said that he wanted to be a different film from the rest of the DCEU, which I think it definitely is. He wanted to be a very fun ride that fully embraces the ridiculousness of the character, which I think the film does. He said he was going to really embrace his horror roots when it gets to the more monster elements, and again, I think it does show. There's one sequence in particular that really, you can really see him really tapping into the horror side of his background with the creature from the deep, and he said that he wasn't going to, he wanted to feel almost like a Saturday morning matinee crazy fun film,
like a Saturday morning cartoon.
Yeah,
sort of.
yeah, which I think it definitely does. So I had a great time watching this. I think it's the best of the DCEU, and I thought Wonder Woman was fantastic. Yeah, I just thought it was it's got its flaws. It's not a perfect film, but I really loved it.
Okay. Counter argument. To me, Aquaman started off sort of okay, a little bit boring, but I was invested. But once it got to the first big action sequence of the film, with the what is it, the submarine? Yeah, I just couldn't take it seriously at all. There are so many times where Jason Momoa is punched in the face, and you're like, and
that's the thing. That's what James Bond was trying to do. He was trying to make it ridiculous.
Whether he was trying to make it ridiculous or not, to me it didn't work.
Okay.
I don't know. There were so many things in the film that were just so out of place and unnecessary. Black Manta didn't need to be in it at all. Like, he is supposed to be one of Aquaman's arch nemesis. Like, he's supposed to be one of Aquaman's arch nemesis, but
villains. Yeah.
Okay, let me try this again. He's supposed to be one of the main villains of Aquaman.
Yeah, there we go.
Right? But he's just so pushed aside, and it's ridiculous. There's like 40 minutes of the film where he's not in it at all. And I think that's one of the biggest problems with Aquaman is its pacing. Is that I was watching it, and there were some parts where I actually did prick up my eyebrows. I was like, wow, that looks cool. That's entertaining to watch. It's got a dumb plot, it's got dumb characters and everything. But I'm sort of like getting into it. I'm enjoying this part of the film. But then it just drags on. Like, the whole part in the desert was just so long.
That was my least favourite bit, but I still really enjoyed it. My favourite moments were, pretty much any time Patrick Wilson was on screen. I love Patrick Wilson. I thought he was a great villain. Over the top and hammy, but he owned the role, and I think he did a great job with it. So anytime he was on screen, I loved.
Yeah.
I loved the first fight between him and Aquaman. I thought that was a lot of fun.
And
I love the scene in Italy when they go on land. I thought that was a really great scene. That's one of Black Manta's major moments. And the whole finale, not giving anything away because this is going to be completely spoiler free, but the final battle, the look of it and the lead up to the battle, I really enjoyed. But there was a moment where two characters are fighting on this upside down boat or ship. I can't remember what it was. Yeah. And like the propellers are going still in the background. They're fighting on this thing. The visuals in that I thought were absolutely outstanding, and really goes to show just how great James Wan is with orchestrating great cinematic moments. That's probably the took away from the film as well, was just how amazing the visuals were.
Yeah.
And I have to agree with James Wan. I think it is such a bad call that the Oscars have not shortlisted this film for Best Visual Effects, because I think it deserves to be at least shortlisted, if not nominated.
I mean, no. I disagree.
I knew you were going to agree with that.
I disagree. The DC movies have had really bad visual effects.
They have, as a whole, they have.
Yeah. This one, admittedly, was better, but that's also because this is the only film that DC has put out this year. No. When you get down to it, like last year they put out Wonder Woman and Justice League. The year before.
You mean the year before? Yeah.
The year before Jesus.
We're in 2019 now.
Yeah, we are. Okay, 2017 was Aquaman.
It was these two.
Yeah, those two. And then the year before that, it was that and Suicide Squad. And so, I had to...
That was a good year for them.
Yeah, great. They had to, put budget between the two, right? This year, they could actually focus entirely on Aquaman, which I actually appreciate. And one of the things I do appreciate about the film is that you could tell that everyone was actually fully invested into making it. To me, it still didn't work.
Yeah.
As a film, overall, it's still a bit of a failure. But I appreciate the fact that people had visions, and people had things that they wanted to say, visions that they wanted to show. like, it actually had a bit of soul to it, a bit of heart, but, like, to me, it just still didn't work. I feel like this film would have probably been at least average, in my opinion, if they cut, like, half an hour out of it.
Mm-hmm. It
is too long.
I wasn't bored or anything watching it, but it sure there could have been stuff trimmed out of it, but at the same time, like, I enjoyed the stuff they had in.
It just, to me, some of those scenes just felt like filler.
Yeah,
and it's
definitely.
It's got one of the worst renditions of Africa by Toto that I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah.
What did you think of the score?
I thought the score was really good. I thought they, I was wondering what they were going to do with it. I was like, are they just going to go just generic action movie stuff like Hans Zimmer style music?
Yeah, think the Amazing Spider-Man.
Yeah.
Generic.
Yeah. Well, no, Amazing Spider-Man 2. Amazing Spider-Man I thought had a great score. Number 2 I thought was very generic.
Okay, I agree to disagree.
But when I saw that it was Rupert Gregson-Williams who did the score for Wonder Woman, granted the Wonder Woman theme was done by Hans Zimmer, Rupert was one who came in and did the actual remain of the score, and I thought he did a great score. Like, it felt like an old World War II film, and he really did a good job with that. So I was hopeful going in with this one, and it's an eccentric score. I really liked it. He plays around with weird noises, and it's kind of like alien kind of sound to it for, you know, the inner space kind of sound, and yeah, I really liked it.
Look, if I'm honest, I can't remember anything, and to me that doesn't mean the soundtrack is bad, because I think that the score was fine. It complemented the film for what it was going for. But if I can't remember like anything from the tracks, then there's a little bit of a problem. Yeah, it didn't really grab me.
I don't think it's by all means like one of the greatest scores of the year, but as a superhero genre score, which has become quite tired lately, where a lot of the scores sound the same, I thought this one did a good job of setting itself apart from the rest.
Look, that's fair enough. Like, I can't disagree with that, actually.
Yeah. So what are you giving it? Here we go.
I'm giving it 1.5. It really did try in some aspects, but other things just fell flat on its face. James Wan, great director, and I appreciate that he wanted to make a film rather than a product, but to me it was a bit of a failure. What about you, Robbie?
Here we go. Our first big divisive rating of the year.
Oh, first review of the year. It's going to be a good one.
I'm giving Aquaman 4.5. I loved it. Like I said, it's by no means a perfect film, but I just had a blast watching it. I look forward to watching it again. I hope James Wan continues. If they would, I'm sure they'll do the sequel, and I hope that James Wan stays with it, because he's definitely got a great eye for the visuals and just the feel of the film. It was just a great time. I just really loved it. I know you didn't.
I'm no leader. I came because I have no choice. I came to save my home and the people that I love.
You think you're unworthy to lead because you're of two different worlds. But that is exactly why you are worthy.
That was awesome.
The war is coming to the surface, and I'm bringing the wrath of the seven seas with me.
Anyway, guys, those were our thoughts on Aquaman. If you haven't seen it and you want to go see a good superhero film, go see Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. And let us know what you thought. And keep an eye out for our next review, Ralph Breaks the Internet. Until next time, we'll see you at the movies.